Hi there YouTube, XtremeTrainz here. So apologies for a bit of delay in uploads, especially because I keep posting stuff. I unfortunately broke my recording devices, so had to wait for them to be repaired, and obviously with everything that's going on right now, that was a bit difficult. But I'm glad to say that I actually have got it fixed. So we can take a look at this item, which is one which I was not being expected to be able to pick up, but I'm really excited to get out of the box, which is why I want to do it first. It is the brand new Thomas Wood Henry. So what are we waiting for? Let's take a look at this very cool looking item. So we're going to take a look at the box first. Again, you can see Henry, real wood, blah, 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 all that boring stuff we normally have on the packaging. Say hello to Henry. So again, I think this is like a normal bio. Like they've stopped doing weird ones, which is really good. You can see there, that is a picture of what he looks like. Nice to see Henry returning in Thomas Wood, given the circumstances. It's my understanding there's like a Toby and Edward coming in some capacity, but it's good to see that we do eventually get a Henry. So what are we waiting for? Let's get him out of the box. All right, so we can see Henry now out of his packaging. Let's take a look. Now, as you would probably know, I was not a big fan of the new size decision that was made for the new 2018/2019 Thomas Wood line, but I also haven't got any tender engines that are fully painted, and I must say, as much as obviously, like, Thomas Wood Railway was the far superior product, but I actually think that given, the restraints that we have, I think this new Henry actually looks pretty nice. So let's, as I said, I've been spinning him around while I've been talking, but let's have a bit of a closer look. So we can come in on the face. I think this is a perfect CGI Henry face. Obviously, if you're a fan of the classic series Henry face, you're going to be disappointed. But in terms of, like, does it look like he looks in the CGI show right now? Yes, it does, and it looks perfect. So I'm really happy with that face. You can see the classic, I should say, the standard Thomas Wood buffer details. And then you've got the standard wood details on here as well. So you can see we've got these, like, where the cylinders would be. You can see there's the little wheel arches compressed in the black space they've got here. We've got his cab here with the painting on top. We've got the details along here. It's nice to see that they've been done in silver, which makes them look a little bit more exciting. Again, the shaping on Henry is quite nice. So we do get that kind of raised area for the wheel arches. And then also, we've got the kind of rounded out boiler area, and then also you do have his square firebox, which is, I think a very important Henry feature because it features so prominently in his story arc. Really picked out quite nicely. And I actually think they do a decent job of capturing the kind of like, Henry's, I think, is quite a back-heavy locomotive in that because, in the show, he has the wheels at the front, and then he has driving wheels, but no trailing wheels, like, not like Gordon. So he looks quite back heavy, and I think they've done a decent job because they've made his cab quite large to make him look quite back heavy. So I actually think the proportions on this one, even though, obviously it's limited by the fact that you only have 3 wheels, are actually pretty nice. Again, you can see fully painted, so all black on the bottom. You've got the writing Henry there, which is nice to see. And look at that pin construction. Coming to the tender, obviously it's the standard Thomas Wood tender, but these, I have to say, do look much better, which is what I said when I reviewed Rebecca, with being fully painted. Like, obviously, it's disappointing that they're just a brick, but I actually think once they're fully painted, they actually look far less disturbing than they previously did, because you don't have the really weird colors and angles and bits, cut out. You just get the design here. We've got the design of the coal, which matches up with this part. Nothing else. You can see it's got Henry's tenders on the bottom, but I actually don't think it looks too bad, which I'm not actually, again, Henry's tender is quite square, so I'm probably a little bit biased in that regard, but I think, altogether, he doesn't look too bad. And I think that's the thing about these fully painted Thomas Wood engines is why, yeah, as I said, even though they're nothing compared to the original engines, I actually think they do look quite nice now. They're quite presentable. They've got a nice feel to them. There is something really nice about the wood feeling versus like the plastic of Trackmaster. Or even, the push along, because even though it's die cast, the top part is not always die cast. So there is something very nice and I think quite premium and also quite simple, like refreshingly simple about these designs. So I'm actually quite a big fan of this Henry. Again, if we compare it to the Thomas here, which is obviously the unpainted version, You can see the sizing thing is a little bit of a problem in that obviously, you know, it's unfortunate that they didn't make like a 4-wheel base, you know, make it with 4 wheels for tender engines and 3 wheels for tank engines or something. But, you know, again, I still think these two together look quite nice. And I think as a kid, you know, it would be the tender does enough to make him look bigger. And because now, again, because it's fully painted, you know, if you blur your eyes, it's all green, it's all Henry. So I think it actually does kind of work in making him look like a big engine, even compared to Thomas, who's obviously not that much smaller in the kind of the body shape. So I actually think that it's a bit of a kind of, it's a pass from me. So yeah, that's my look at Henry. Just lastly, some talk about some final remarks and pricing. So as I talked about in previous videos, purchasing Thomas Wood in Australia is pretty difficult, and especially trying to get the fully painted versions is nigh impossible. So I have been purchasing most of my Thomas Wood stuff from Amazon, and the trend continues with this Henry character. So I purchased him for just under 30 Australian dollars. And again, that doesn't include shipping because I'm an Amazon Prime member, so I get that for free. And the reason I've been waiting so long is because Henry has been listed on Amazon but constantly out of stock, or he's been like $60 or $70, which I was just not willing to pay. But it turns out that Henry and something else, which I'm going to be reviewing in the near future, worked together as a deal to get me over the free shipping threshold of 49 Australian dollars. So that's kind of why I picked Henry up. And he came down to what I think is a more reasonable price of, yeah, he's $29.70 something, I believe. Now, obviously, I don't, you know, trying to say, is it worth it? Look, for me as a Thomas Wood kind of collector, I actually am quite happy to pay that much because Henry's a core character. I'm really excited to have him in my collection. Actually really excited to get out and actually build a proper layout with Thomas Wood. I haven't done that yet. You know, and so I could bring that to you guys on YouTube. But I think if you're paying the kind of normal retail price, which in Australia is about 20 to 23 Australian dollars for these, I think it's still kind of hard to say whether this is worth full retail price, even being fully painted, especially compared to, you know, if you pay like, you know, about 30 Australian dollars for a Trackmaster, you're going to get a Trackmaster engine plus 2 wagons. Whereas if you pay 23, you're only going to get the engine. So I think it's kind of up to you, but I just certainly think with the fully painted designs, these engines are much, much better. And I will, you know, go out on a limb and say that Thomas Wood is actually, you know, goes all right. It's obviously a downgrade, but I think it's, you know, for what it is, now that it's fully painted, I actually think for the most part, there's some pretty nice models out there. And I think if you gave a kid, and this is important to remember, if you gave a kid one of these now, who'd never seen previous Thomas Wooden Railway, I think they would be very happy with this. If they were a fan of Henry, I think this Henry would make them really happy, and they would have a lot of fun on their railway with it. So I think that's kind of my takeaway, but I'd love to hear your thoughts, as per always. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about this new Henry, and I'll be back soon with another review. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. That's all we've got time for. This is XtremeTrainz.